In the unpredictable world of Middle East diplomacy, some events defy expectations. The region is no stranger to high-stakes negotiations, but every so often, a moment arises that truly stands apart, a moment that captures the attention of the world and challenges the norms of international relations. The planned meeting between U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, a close Trump ally known for his unconventional style, and senior Hamas leader Khalil al-Hayya, a figure at the heart of Palestinian resistance, is one such moment. Their encounter is not just a diplomatic formality, it's a collision of worlds, ideologies, and histories. This isn't a routine diplomatic exchange, it's a direct conversation between a global superpower and a group the U.S. officially designates as a terrorist organization. The stakes are high. Every word, every gesture, carries weight. The risks are enormous, but so are the potential rewards. At the heart of the talks lies the stability of a fragile Gaza ceasefire, painstakingly negotiated after months of violence. The fate of a sensitive prisoner exchange hangs in the balance, with families on both sides waiting anxiously for news. Each decision made in this room could alter the lives of thousands. And beyond the immediate crises, the future of Gaza's reconstruction is at stake. The battered enclave desperately needs rebuilding: schools, hospitals, homes, and infrastructure. Humanitarian aid convoys wait at the borders, their entry dependent on the outcome of these delicate negotiations. The Trump administration's willingness to engage directly with Hamas marks a dramatic break from decades of U.S. policy. Traditionally, American officials have avoided direct contact, insisting on strict preconditions. Now, the focus has shifted. Results are being prioritized over protocol, and the old rules are being rewritten in real time. Recent developments have set the stage for this unprecedented meeting. A tenuous ceasefire holds, but only just. The United Nations Security Council has passed a resolution backing Trump's ambitious peace plan, but the international community remains divided. Deep disagreements persist, especially over the issue of disarmament and the future governance of Gaza. As the talks unfold, the atmosphere is tense. This meeting could either reinforce a fragile peace, offering hope to millions, or it could expose the deep rifts and mistrust that still define the conflict. The outcome is far from certain, and the stakes could not be higher. Around the globe, people watch and wait. The world is watching to see if this bold, unconventional approach can succeed where so many others have failed, if, against all odds, a new chapter in Middle East peace can finally begin. To truly grasp the significance of this high-stakes meeting, it's essential to understand the two men at its center, each representing not just their organizations, but also two vastly different worlds and philosophies. On one side, we have Steve Witkoff, a figure whose name is synonymous with New York real estate success and high-level political connections. Witkoff is not just a billionaire developer, he's a trusted confidant of Donald Trump, known for his bold, results-driven approach. He's built a reputation as a dealmaker who thrives in complex, high-pressure environments, preferring direct negotiation to bureaucratic red tape. His appointment as special envoy is a clear reflection of Trump's preference for unconventional problem solvers, outsiders who aren't afraid to challenge the status quo and bring fresh perspectives to seemingly intractable conflicts. Opposite him sits Khalil al-Hayya, Hamas's chief negotiator and a seasoned political operator. Al-Hayya has spent decades navigating the turbulent waters of Middle Eastern politics, representing the interests of Gaza and the broader Palestinian cause in some of the region's most sensitive and high-stakes talks. Their backgrounds couldn't be more different. Witkoff, the capitalist envoy with a background in luxury real estate and American politics. Al-Hayya, the face of a militant movement shaped by years of conflict and struggle. Yet, despite their differences, both men have been empowered by their respective leaders to find a path forward, however narrow or fraught it may be. Witkoff's mission is clear: secure a deal that aligns with U.S. interests, strengthens American influence, and delivers tangible results on the world stage. For al-Hayya, the stakes are equally high. He seeks meaningful concessions for Gaza, relief from the blockade, improved humanitarian conditions, and a favorable prisoner exchange that could shift the balance of power in the region. Whether these two can bridge the gap between their worlds will test not only their personal resolve, but also the limits of this bold, unorthodox approach to diplomacy. The agenda is packed. First, shoring up the fragile Gaza ceasefire, which remains under constant strain. Next, the delicate prisoner exchange, hostages for Palestinian prisoners, demands careful negotiation to avoid collapse. For Hamas, freeing prisoners is a political win. For the US and Israel, returning hostages is paramount. The talks will also address Gaza's long-term future reconstruction, withdrawal of Israeli forces, and the possibility of new governance structures. The US and its allies are wary of any plan that cements Hamas's control, while Hamas resists calls for disarmament. The recent UN resolution offers a framework, but fundamental disagreements persist. Witkoff will push for Trump's plan. Al-Hayya will defend Hamas's core positions. How they navigate these issues could shape the region's future. Direct U.S. talks with Hamas break decades of policy and spark fierce debate. Critics argue that engaging Hamas legitimizes violence and undermines the moderate Palestinian Authority. In Israel, the move is viewed with suspicion, raising fears of unwanted concessions and increased recognition for Hamas. Opponents worry this could embolden militants and compromise Israeli security. Supporters counter that isolating Hamas has failed. As Gaza's de facto rulers, they must be part of any solution. Refusing to talk, they argue, is a failed strategy. Direct engagement, though controversial, may be the only way to secure hostages and address Gaza's humanitarian crisis. The debate underscores the risks and potential rewards of this diplomatic gamble. This isn't the first time Witkoff and al-Hayya have met. In fact, their relationship has been quietly developing behind closed doors for months, away from the public eye and the glare of the media. These two figures, representing opposing sides, have been engaged in a delicate dance of diplomacy, where every word and gesture carries weight. Their current talks build on a series of secret meetings, including a pivotal October summit in Sharm el-Sheikh. That summit, held in the shadow of international tension, brought together not just Witkoff and al-Hayya, but a select group of influential diplomats and advisors. The location itself, known for hosting high-stakes negotiations, set the stage for what would become a turning point in the peace process. There, the outlines of the ceasefire and prisoner exchange were first negotiated, proving that even adversaries can find common ground when the stakes are high enough. The discussions were intense, with both sides making difficult concessions and taking calculated risks. It was a moment that demonstrated the power of dialogue, even when trust is fragile. Jared Kushner's presence at these talks signaled full White House backing and added credibility. His involvement reassured both parties that the United States was committed to supporting a lasting resolution, and his diplomatic experience helped bridge gaps that once seemed insurmountable. These secret sessions allowed both sides to move past posturing and establish a working rapport. Away from the cameras, negotiators could speak candidly, address grievances, and begin to see each other as partners in a shared process, rather than just opponents. The groundwork laid in private has made today's public negotiations possible. Without these early confidential discussions, the current progress would have been unimaginable. Trust, however tentative, was built one conversation at a time. This history of direct contact offers a glimmer of hope that progress is possible, even amid deep mistrust. Each handshake, each agreement, no matter how small, has helped to chip away at decades of suspicion and hostility. The current meeting is the next step in a process months in the making. As both sides sit down once again, they do so with the knowledge that real change is possible, because they have already begun to pave the way, together, for a more hopeful future. Amid the politics, a personal connection has shaped these talks. Both Witkoff and al-Hayya have lost sons. Witkoff's son died of an overdose. Al-Hayya's was killed in an airstrike. This shared grief has softened the tone of negotiations, introducing empathy into a process usually defined by hard lines. During a televised interview, Witkoff publicly offered condolences to al-Hayya, a rare gesture that humanized both men. This moment of empathy, highlighted by Jared Kushner, has helped foster a more constructive dialogue. While personal loss can't erase political divides, it can create space for more honest conversation. The human element reminds both sides what's at stake, preventing further suffering. Sometimes shared pain can be a catalyst for progress. Jared Kushner's involvement adds weight and continuity to the negotiations. As architect of the Abraham Accords, Kushner's presence signals that these talks are part of a broader Trump strategy for the region. His role assures all parties that any deal has the president's backing. Kushner also highlighted the personal connection between Witkoff and al-Hayya, framing the talks in a more positive, human light. The Trump team's approach is transactional, economic incentives for security and stability. The Gaza talks may follow this model, seeking tangible outcomes through direct engagement. Kushner's presence suggests a continuation of deal-making diplomacy, even with unlikely partners. Despite intense interest, official sources remain silent about the Witkoff-al-Hayya meeting. This secrecy shields the talks from political pressure and public scrutiny that could derail progress. For Hamas, it helps manage internal divisions and maintain negotiating flexibility. For the U.S., it allows candid discussion without immediate backlash. The lack of information fuels speculation and anxiety, especially among allies like Israel. Secrecy is a double-edged sword. It protects delicate negotiations, but breeds mistrust and uncertainty. The outcome of these secretive talks could reshape the region, if they succeed. The Witkoff-al-Hayya meeting is a bold, risky step toward peace in Gaza. It's a pragmatic move that breaks with protocol, betting that direct engagement can yield results where isolation has failed. The success of this initiative depends on bridging deep divides over ceasefire terms, prisoner exchanges, and Gaza's future. Their shared grief may humanize the process, but political obstacles remain formidable. If the talks produce calm and humanitarian relief, it could mark a turning point. If they fail, it may reinforce doubts about negotiating with militants. For Gaza's people, the stakes are immense, the hope for more than just a pause in violence. The world waits to see if this unlikely dialogue can lay the groundwork for lasting peace.